allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gordon Hillary.
Now I know Charlie's here. All right.
Trisha's here.
All right. As chairman of the Board of Selectmen for the town of Newton, New Hampshire, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12 pursuant to executive order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe or listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are utilizing Zoom conferencing software for this electronic meeting. All members of the board have the ability to communicate during this meeting to the platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in the meeting through dialing the following phone number, 929-205-6099. Meeting ID number is 869-075-36632. We're using the link that was previously provided. We previously gave the notice of the meeting information for accessing the meeting, including how to access the conference call via phone. If anyone has a problem, please email bossecretary@newtonnh.net. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting, this meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. So we have a lot on the agenda. So I'd like to start with Trish's update. Trish, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Again, I consolidated it in respect of everyone's time. So I'm going to start with our numbers as of this morning. We have 6,091 persons with COVID in New Hampshire. That's up 139 since we last spoke on last Wednesday. We have 5,101 persons that have recovered from COVID. That's up 193, which is 84%. Unfortunately, we have 392 deaths in New Hampshire, and that's up 6 since last Wednesday. We have 665 that have been hospitalized since the start of COVID. However, only 23 are currently in the hospital. We've got a lot going on with, you'll hear in the news, military support and National Guard. They were helping with New Hampshire Employment Call Center, and they now, as of yesterday, are not working on the phones anymore. We have a lot of national focus is on the shortage of PPEs should we have a spike in COVID cases. So they talked about that. The governor, as you know, issued the back to school guidance. There's also a new response, a recruitment portal that he talked about yesterday in case people want to go on and see if there's some kind of a job that matches whatever it is they're cut out to do. There's also a lot of PPE orders for the municipalities to ease on the voting for this fall, and hopefully that'll be fulfilled soon. The Attorney General also have an emergency order that banned the disconnection of utilities due to non-payment. So that has lapsed now. And there is a Gopher Fund account, and I don't know if Tina's on the call because I got on a little bit late, but if anybody needs help with housing, there is now a Gopher account to help those that need it. So Tina, you can call me if you need that. There was also the results of the Supreme Court, and probably Matt, you're up to speed on that struck down the lawsuit looking to get rid of the Nashua mask ordinance. We also had some questions on the legal call. An EMD asked or stated that they had a positive case and the person was being difficult and not staying home. He has since recovered, but his family is still on quarantine, and yet they've been seen out and about in town. Their daughter was also going to get on a public school bus, but fortunately, the bus forgot to stop. So nobody was near that poor girl that was supposed to be on the bus. they asked about the state health department, asking them, you know, what can we do when we've got situations like this where people are not cooperating and doing the quarantine? And I think we talked about this because we actually had something similar, and they can issue an order, the state can issue an order, and also require the family members to quarantine. And there is a DHS number that somebody can call in case you come across this, especially you town officials if you have any questions. And that number is 931-0144 or 661-7474. There is a law enforcement memo that the Attorney General issued, and our chiefs have it, including Chief Jewett. And it talks about giving them steps to follow should we have somebody that is uncooperative about quarantining. We also had another question evaluating whether or not this particular municipality should issue their own mask ordinance. And they said, did the Nashua case apply to only cities or towns as well? And it says that the statute gives the towns the authority. However, they'll get back to you with the exact language. We had another EMD that asked, and this, you know, this could be a question that we would ask as well. It says, can we use every other voting booth to help maintain social distancing? However, we do have a state rule that tells the minimum amount of voting booths that we have to have, and it's based on our population. And their question is, can this be relaxed? So they are going to get back to the Secretary of State and the governor to see if there's a way we can relax on that. Otherwise, we may have to use the booths that are required. There was another concern in terms of school guidance. They wanted to know, was there anything in place to help address the concerns that are now coming forward? And Chris Bond, the General Counsel for Department of Education, said he can be contacted if you've got any questions, and his number is 931-2241. There was also another question about a restriction on the capacity of a municipal building. And they said, yes, municipal buildings are exempt from capacity limits, but we do suggest the use of masks and social distancing. However, there is guidance from the state fire marshal's office that will dictate what is your maximum in your particular town. And Larry can jump in, but I believe ours is 49. Then there was another question on, can we open our playgrounds? And the answer was, you know, communities can choose to open them, but there was talk about, should there be a disclaimer on the website saying that towns are opening playgrounds or ball fields or whatever it might be, and advise on social distancing and not guarantee whether equipment is sanitized on a regular basis. So there was talk about that, of putting that out there and posting it as well. And they did say that tonight at 7, they're going to comment on it on our situation report. So unfortunately, I can't give you too many answers on that. Let me see, let's see, go on to my next page. Again, they're working on the PPE sourcing from the Secretary of State's office, and hopefully in the coming weeks, although Larry, is waiting to find out, how big a vehicle he needs. Mary Jo ordered 6,000 envelopes and supplies for absentee ballots and voting. However, they're talking about maybe not getting them out till August 28th, which certainly doesn't leave Mary Jo much time before the September election. So we've got to stay on top of that. They're working on stockpiling again in anticipation of a surge, stockpiling the PPEs. There was also mention from our operations division that currently Manchester Airport is working with FedEx and the National Guard because of a plane coming in full of PPEs that's going to cover Southern New Hampshire and our VA hospitals. And that is it.
Great. So a lot of stuff there. I think our main next focus will be that September 8th election, at least the town's focus. Obviously, Mary Jo and company will have more work to do, and more info for us, but that's kind of the next big step for us, I think.
Right.
Now the reopening of town hall, I asked to put this on the agenda because I guess we've hit a snag or two. Like to talk about that. I know there's some sensitive information regarding a key player in all of this, so we just need to make sure we're cognizant of not giving too many
Right.
details on that. But
Yeah.
but so so the current situation, I think, is we did not meet our, what was it, 14th of July date due to the glass shield, whatever you want to call it, work not being able to be completed. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, he couldn't do it when scheduled, which I think was July 9th, actually.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, okay, go ahead.
No, I was going to let you go ahead. Thanks.
Okay. So to give you kind of an update, and again, so that we don't violate any kind of information, the work could not be done. The Board of Selectmen realizes why. And however, we can, our next available time to get this done would be, I was going to say July. Yes, it is July. Oh my God. July 20th, which is next Monday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Hopefully by then the girls will be gone. It's going to take about 45 minutes to get this done. If it can't be done at that time, if that's not convenient, we're hoping that it could be, and then town hall could be cleaned that night, or it doesn't have to be cleaned. It's just that one counter, or the two counters, the Board of Selectmen counter and the town clerk counter. Otherwise, it would be scheduled for 8:30 on Friday morning, which is the 24th.
So would you say the roadblock, is it the roadblock to potentially having it done Monday at 3, is that with us or with the vendor?
It's so the supplies are all in, and
Yeah.
the vendor is available anytime after the 19th. So that's a Sunday. So the 20th, when I spoke to him again today, just to confirm that possibly he could do it then after work instead of the 20th in the morning, he said, yes, we have a priority on his schedule, and if we can get him in there at 3 o'clock on the 20th, we've got the supplies, and he's completely ready to go forward.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I think for me, if we can get him in there at 3, and if staff doesn't want to be there, they can come in early, leave early, or make up the time later. PTO. What's the board think?
Well, it's only, you said only 45 minutes, an hour tops, and it's only going to take Tony. So if that guy's in there from 3 to 4, Tony does 4 to 5. 5 o'clock, it's all clear. So they can resume normal operations on Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not so worried about Tuesday. It's just Monday, the end of the
Has
day.
anyone spoken to Mary Jo?
Well, I think they close at 3 o'clock.
Do they?
I thought they were doing like 8:30. One was doing 8 to 11 or 8:30 to 11, and the other one was doing 11:30 to 3. But I think they're both doing 8 to 3 or 8:30 to 3.
Mary Jo's there till 5 and Kim's there till 6.
Kim's not back till Tuesday though, right?
Oh, Tuesday. Okay, then we're good on her.
Could
Right.
they come at 4?
What?
Could we just have the guy, if it's 45 minutes, come at 4 o'clock on Monday, let the women in town hall know, they leave, 30 minutes before, which makes sense to me, and make up the hours. Come early. I think that makes sense. What do you think, Matt?
I don't know. I'm flexible either way. I like I said, I think if it's, I know nothing about this work, but I'm always skeptical when things are said they only take this long. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is going to do it in 45 minutes, but
All right,
I-
so 4 o'clock, it don't matter. We give them 3 to 5. Nobody's there, so no one's gonna rush them.
Yeah,
And can we do it pending, should someone talk to Mary Jo and just get the okay with her? Or no? I know we're this Board of Selectmen, but wouldn't be bad to.
I mean, I think we have to make a decision as a Board of Selectmen.
I think we should do it Monday. I'm flexible.
And like I said, it's all about accommodations as far as I'm concerned. So if we pick a time we want it done, we get it done, we get it cleaned. If people don't want to be there, there are options. I mean, you could come in earlier. You could, well, that's what I mean is come in early, go home early, make up the hours on another day, take PTO, whatever. Does the board agree with that? We have options for the staff is what I'm trying to say.
I'm good with that.
Yep,
I'm
agreed.
good with that.
All right, so it sounds like, I'm not sure we have to take a motion with this, but it sounds like we're good to, who's the key contact for the vendor? Is it you, Trish?
Yes, I've been talking to him, Larry and I, but I talked to him today.
So Board of Selectmen, Trish is going to tell this vendor to come in Monday at 4. Is that what we're saying?
No, we're gonna ask him, not tell him.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yes, that's fine.
So 4, and then once we find out if that's okay for him, then Nancy's going to line up Tony for thereafter. And it looks like Kate's got a question.
I just know I said 4, but again, let's see what he says. If he needs to come at 3 to complete the work, then that's fine too. He can be flex.
Is the rest of the board okay with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we should just tell Mary Jo to go home at 3.
Well, we can't
That's
tell
all.
Mary Jo what to do.
Well, excuse me. Ask her to go home at 3.
We can let her
Don't take the
know
word.
that there will be somebody in there and she can make the decision as to whether or not she wants to stay or work from home or do something else. But as a board, we can't tell the town clerk, tax collector what to do, when to be in her office or any of that.
Yeah, I would agree. We're not telling anybody, we're not telling another elected official what to do. We're telling a vendor when they can come in and
Exactly.
making the building accessible for them. So, all right, are we good with this then?
Yep.
Okay, great. So ideally Tuesday, the 21st, we keep calling it a soft open, so I'm not sure we need to announce to anybody other than right now that it's going to open on the 21st. So that way there'll be, if things don't line up, if something doesn't work, the 21st is just business as usual until we can get the vendor back in. But it sounds to me like everything's lined up appropriately. So, all right. Anything else as far as the opening task force?
One more thing, Matt.
Sure.
I don't know if Terry is on, but when I spoke to our provider, our vendor, he's going to handle the library on the 24th at 10:30. And she knows that. She's going to meet him there as well.
I'm here, Tricia. Yes, so that's what I had noted as well. Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
So yeah, just keep everybody updated as to how you guys are doing. But I think that's where we are basically, right? Is we're focused on opening town clerk operations, seeing how that went to decide what we want to do next. But we'll have to wait another week because it didn't open.
I will say on another note, which is really exciting, Larry and I received all the signs today. They got delivered to the fire station. So the timing is actually perfect. We'll be able to go in and put up the signs where they're going to be going. He's also going to help us with the magnets for the brochure boxes that will go on the metal doors that is going to talk about, before entering this facility, you must have an appointment, answer these 4 questions. And CDC suggests that the questions have been recently traveled by plane, train, or bus. Have you had any close prolonged contact with anyone with confirmed or suspected COVID-19 in the last 14 days? And by definition, CDC says prolonged contact is defined, and this is all written down what they gave me, is defined as less than 6 feet for more than 10 minutes. Question 3, have you had a fever or chills in the past 72 hours without using fever-reducing medicine? And question 4, are you having any of the following symptoms? New onset of cough, shortness of breath, muscle pain, sore throat, loss of taste or smell, or a headache that is not typical for you? If you have answered, now they're outside reading this, if you had answered yes to any of these questions, please do not come in, do not ring the bell, go home and call to reschedule.
I like it.
Yep, and that's what Mary Jo said. She doesn't even want them to ring the bell. So she'll
Right.
she'll ask her questions with the appointments, and then this is going to be a reminder when they're outside the front door.
Yep, perfect. All right.
One
So-
quick thing, Matt.
Nancy?
Does Tricia, do they want the sign changed as well out front?
I think all Mary Jo wants out there is what we originally said,
Okay,
which
but
said,
it's,
call for an appointment, the phone number and the website.
when do we want that out there? Monday?
Yes, yeah, not sooner. She doesn't want it sooner.
Okay.
I'd put it out Tuesday, make sure they're installed, the shields.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt, I did just hear back from Mary Jo, and 3 o'clock is fine.
Okay, great.
And
So-
Jim Doggett has a question to ask the board as well.
So we take call-in numbers like a TV show now, like Oprah? Is that,
Yeah.
we should have our number across the screen. If you have a question, call in. So, Jim Doggett, go ahead. I think you're on mute, Jim.
*6.
Here goes, he's all
Okay.
set.
Actually, I'm not on the phone. I'm in the planning board office. Question for you, and I brought this up to the COVID committee. I'm having an issue with people not understanding this concept of you can't come in, but you can still drop off an application. Does this Board of Selectmen have a problem if I utilize the window that is in the conference room? Sort of the way you're putting plexiglass downstairs for the ladies as a way of taking in paperwork. The minute I open the door so I can speak to somebody, they have a tendency to grab the handle and try coming in. Now, these people, most of them do not show up with any form of mask. I can guarantee they haven't taken a temperature. And most of them don't understand that town hall is closed because they read in the newspaper that it was open. By telling people to meet me at the window, I can lower the combination on the outside, I believe. They can pass paperwork to me, but they can't get into the building.
I think that sounds pretty good. What's everybody else think?
Sounds
have
like
no
a
issue with
workable
that.
solution.
When you mean conference room, do you,
The conservation meeting room, recreation meeting room.
So it's right outside the planning board office. So that's, I think that sounds fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
before I did it, because I didn't want somebody screaming to you guys that I was not allowing them access.
Good idea.
Could I make a comment?
Absolutely.
So, and I don't know if this is, I mean, to me, it makes sense what Jim is suggesting. But in some of our real estate offices, when people are trying to drop off, again, a lot of times we've got subdivision plans we're working on. We've got a very large, kind of like a lockbox that's bolted to the side of the wall where they can drop them in, and you got to use a key to open it, which Jim could have. I'm just thinking if we mounted that right against the wall coming up that ramp so it's undercover, that could mean anyone could drop them off even if he's not there. And I don't know if that would make more sense than him having to meet them at the window unless you have to talk to them, Jim.
Well, the only problem is that people will be dropping everything in the lockbox. I only take in paperwork for the planning board.
Well, but this would be up at the door where Conservation Planning Board leaves. And remember,
Right.
we've got a big sign that's going right there. The top, it's for planning board. I don't know if that would help. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. There have been questions because people have come to that door. Nobody comes with an appointment. Or if they make an appointment, they're never on time. But people just show up anytime that I'm supposed to be here and expect to hand off paperwork that I've had people that have tried giving me ZBA paperwork, and I can't take that because I have no way of getting it to the ZBA. So I've literally looked at them and gone, no, you have to call the ZBA and make arrangements to drop off the paperwork. If there's a lockbox there, they'll just be dumping everything in the lockbox.
I would say, can we try the window idea first, see how it works, and then a lockbox might be a good next step. If this doesn't work, which I think this will work, but a lockbox sounds like a potentially permanent solution that might also work. But if we try the window thing, that's kind of like the low-hanging fruit. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
And also
I'm
because most of these people are just showing up with like a manila envelope with paperwork in it.
Yeah.
You know, and usually this for myself and for ZBA, there would be checks. Well, lockbox is very secure for that. How many people are going to have keys? And I'm not really comfortable with, okay, my checks and somebody else's checks are in there together. You know, did somebody accidentally grab the wrong set of checks? There's a lot of possibility of mix up of paperwork. And you guys know that certain developers have issues with that.
All right, so Jim, we'll look at the two of them. One will mark ZBA, the other one will mark planning board.
Okay. that works. I just, you know, it's east is east, west is west, and neither the twain should meet.
Yeah. We'll look into the prices on that tomorrow.
Well,
Cool.
in the
So
meantime, the window, I think, will work perfectly well until this situation is over.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll
give
try
that-
the window.
Yeah, give that a
We'll try
shot.
to-
In the meantime, we'll get a quote.
Okay.
Right.
Kate is either taking an oath or she has a question. Kate?
It seems to me we should have a pretty standard procedure uniformly for town hall.
Right.
So I don't see why there should be a different procedure for planning board office where Jim has to be closer than 6 feet to people to hand off paperwork. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, are people at your window at least have the same sign and they can, you know,
I don't have a window.
Well, I mean, can there be a sign near that entrance? Is there going to be one? The same thing with masks, the questions and all that?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And I mean, seriously, if they don't comply, you don't have to open the door if you're uncomfortable. I think it's important that you're safe.
Yeah, no,
You
It's-
all day right next to people, even with a mask on, going back and forth, opening windows, holding their stuff. So
Yeah.
just,
no, the problem with seeing them is I have a 6 by 8-inch window, and trying to get them to stand so that I can see them. You'd be amazed at what some applicants are like.
just again, okay, as long as we have uniform rules for town hall.
Yeah.
And I think that makes sense what Kate's saying, because like Mary Jo said to me, if they don't have an appointment, she doesn't go there. If someone's ringing the bell, you know, she will say, you need to call me for an appointment. And so consistency, again, who knows how long we're going to be dealing with this. And I think if you give them a little wiggle room and they think you're going to respond to them, they're going to take advantage of you. That's just my take. Sorry, I'll be quiet.
The only other, The only other concern I have with that is Jim's only in 2 days a week. So if people are dropping checks in that box and nobody's out there checking it, it's not on the inside of the building, it's on the outside of the building. And I don't think that's a good idea.
So I'm gonna jump in here. So Jim asked us for use of the window.
Yeah.
We gave him the use of the window. I'd prefer not to flesh out a new procedure using a Dropbox in this meeting. If the parties who would be affected by using a Dropbox, maybe they could get together and come up with a procedure if they want to pursue it. We could talk about it once the idea is fully fleshed out. These are all legitimate questions, but just in the interest of time, Jim asked us for use of the window and we've given him the use of the window.
And I'm happy and can go back about my business.
Cool. Everybody good with that?
I am.
All right. All right. So thank you, Jim.
Yeah. Mr. Fort, would you call me when you're done this at the planning board office if it's within the next 15 minutes or so?
If you could text me the number, I'd be glad to. But all right, I'll go to the prompts. Yeah, I'll call you.
Okay. I just need some info. Thank you.
Somebody get Jim a bottle of Windex and a roll of paper towels. Now that he owns that window, we don't want fingerprints on there. All right. So it looks like also COVID related under C, we had Recreation Committee meeting in TH, which I assume is Town Hall.
Correct.
I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah, the secretary asked if they could meet at the town hall for their next meeting, or do they need to keep using Zoom? And I said I'd have to ask.
So that next meeting would be the 20th, I believe. So
okay.
what does the board think? I don't think we're there yet.
Zoom.
Zoom.
There's no need.
We're doing our next meeting on the 23rd, right?
Yeah. So I'm hearing a lot of Zoom.
Theirs is the 20th. We're planning ours for Zoom. I think they should plan theirs for Zoom as well.
Yeah, and
But,
the only other thing. Go ahead, Larry.
I think on that note, I think we gotta start seriously thinking of when we're gonna start opening up the live meetings, because that planning board meeting last night, that was actually an in-person meeting, and it was so confusing on the phone. Like I said, this is going on for the next 7 to 8 months. We can't go that long without holding live meetings.
Yeah, but
That's
Larry,
just my opinion.
the meeting wasn't so bad if you were on your computer on Zoom. Because I was at that meeting last night, so to speak, remember?
Well, some people have to work, and we don't have computer capabilities at work.
It was also on channel 20.
So I think to answer question C, the immediate question, recreation use on the 20th, I don't think the board is going to green light that. But I just add that if they need a place to kind of meet in person, the town hall, what am I saying? Town hall parking lot has been used before.
Yes,
So,
we did.
exactly. So bring a chair, you know what I mean? Bring a lounge chair.
We
Social
did.
distance. That's what I would say.
Don't tell them what else you brought, Trish.
I know it.
Sounds like a good meeting, but
It was.
but so everybody's good with that answer to recreation?
Yep.
And the question of the when we do live meetings
Another time.
definitely is still on the board. I keep going back to the governor's order that I read at the top of every one of these meetings. That order needs to be addressed every 21 days, right? Am I right with that?
Yes, you are.
So I think we're already 15 days in from the last one. My math is correct. So to me, it's the 21-day question. As we get closer to the expiration of the order, if he chooses to extend it, then we have options. If he does not extend it, then the decision's over and we have to meet in person. That's the way I look at it. But I just, admittedly, I'm not in a hurry to meet in person. If we had to do it tomorrow, I would be there with mask on and about 10 feet away from all you guys, but I'm not in a hurry to meet in person. That's just my opinion. But
I agree with that, obviously.
All right, I wanted to switch gears away from COVID-19. So is there anything else COVID-19 related that anybody wants to talk about? Going once, going twice. See, Diane's taking live calls during this meeting. This is awesome. It's just like, I've always wanted to have my own radio show. This could be it, you know? Okay, so we have item D is a lot line adjustment at 35 South Main Street. I'm going to give the quick overall details about this. Charlie or anybody else from the board can jump in if I get anything wrong. But so everybody knows the old fire station, 35 South Main Street, is for sale. We had kind of had a few people look at it, and then I believe it was Charlie who brought up the fact that the Peanut Trail entrance, as well as Chief El Cadino saying there's a fire pond back there we'd want to retain as part of the town, that we needed to do a lot line adjustment. In order to do that, we hired an engineering firm. They went out there and did their thing. They've come back with results. The results, we should also let people know, includes, as these things, this is not unusual. You do these things and you find out things that people, for whatever reason, didn't realize they did on others' property lines that they weren't supposed to or whatever. So there isn't a abutter that's on the Peanut Trail property line. We've spoken to the abutter out of transparency's sake. We've said this is what's going on. So the board has seen the plans, and the board needs to come to a decision about a proposed next set of steps, I would say. And I think, Charlie, to summarize that, what you've proposed based on the engineering information is we essentially cut out the Peanut Trail with fire pond access and adjust the lot line around the abutter is a small business owner in town, would likely cause a hardship. Because what do? Do you slice off a piece of building? I don't know what you do. So, Charlie, anything else you want to add?
You hit it right on the nail.
Okay.
You said it perfect. All we want the board to do is okay, so that I can go over to the engineer with the set of plans and say, this is what we'd like done.
And then steps after that would include public hearings and things like that. All the planning board stuff, so the abutters would be notified. And so,
well,
anybody,
once he draws the plan up, he's going to call me over, and I'm going to turn around and review the plan, basically, and say, okay, now it should go to the planning board.
Okay. So, does the other members of the board have anything to add here before we talk about approving the next step?
No, I'm good with it. I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, I also reviewed the plans, and the fact that the acreage isn't going to change.
Right.
and neither is the frontage, are key areas that I think are important. So what we've presented for sale is still, the shape is different, but the total of what they're getting is the same.
Right. I think this proposal protects the town. It's the best means of protecting the town and, or the interests of the town. And also with the small business owner, it helps them in terms of if they try to sell it someday, everything's worked out. So anybody want to make a motion here or anything or discuss further?
What would the motion be?
I think it would be to, why don't I just do it? Diane, get ready. This will be, I'll find my way. I would move to approve the proposed lot line adjustment as presented by Selectman Melvin and the engineering firm and proceed to the next steps with the planning board.
Second.
What do we think of that motion? Did I cover it all?
Yep.
Sounded good.
Okay. So any more discussion? Let's do a roll call. Larry, how do you vote?
Aye.
Charlie?
Aye.
Lisa?
Aye.
Kate?
Aye.
And Matt's and I. So more to come on this subject in the following meetings, but I think we have what we need to move forward.
Okay, it'll be there tomorrow morning, and I will update you as we go along.
All right, thank you. Kind of in a similar vein, E is a letter to the state regarding a Duke's Variety liquor license. Diane, do you want to give us a brief on this?
That one's mine.
Yeah.
Or Nancy, sorry.
Todd Fitzgerald owns that property and he has a new lease person. So they have to start out with the new liquor license under the new person. And this is just a letter with the board not having any concerns and allowing it to go through.
Yeah, so it's a letter of non-opposition, correct?
Correct, yes.
And it needs to be signed by the chair or the whole board, Nancy?
I put it from the chair because we can use tonight's motion to go with it for the state to realize, under the circumstances, just the chair can sign.
So I move to have the chair sign the letter for the Duke's liquor license.
Second.
Lisa, were you adjusting your motion there?
Yeah, the non-opposition.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I was just adding the non-opposition just to make sure it was clear that's the letter we were signing.
Yep. So Charlie was a second.
Yep.
All right. No discussion. So let's go around the room. Larry?
Aye.
Charlie?
Aye.
Lisa?
Aye.
Kate?
Aye.
Matt's and I. So there's that's unanimous. Just Nancy, tell me when it's ready to be signed and I'll sign it.
It's actually at the town hall in Diane's printer. I had to, it's on the table, but I had to correct the zip code. I put a 3 instead of a O.
Okay.
If you happen to go in the morning, then maybe just grab it out of Diane's printer because she won't be in till 1 o'clock. Put it on the table.
Okay. I don't know when I'm going to get over there, but if I do go in the morning, I can do that.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thanks. All right, we have a vendor manifest to approve for June 30th. Anybody? Anybody want to move?
Lisa?
I don't have it in front of me for the amount. Hang on.
So the amount is $1,357.92. $1,357,929.60, of which $1,252,701 goes towards the July school payment.
So moved.
I thought so.
Get a second on that?
I'll second it.
All right, Charlie seconded. Let's do a roll call vote. Larry?
Aye.
Charlie?
Aye.
Lisa?
Aye.
Kate?
Aye.
And Matt's and I. That would be unanimous. So, looks like,
Matt, I want you to know that was hard to do.
what's that? Oh, because of,
You had to vote for that.
yeah, right. The, what's hard for me is to make the running joke of when's our discount coming, but,
Yeah.
we'll see. As Trish alluded to earlier, that's all I can say is school reopening guidelines, we'll see,
Yikes.
Yep.
G is approval of the Selectmen's public meeting minutes dated June 8th.
I move to approve the public minutes for June 8th as written.
Second.
Seconded by Charlie, and we're going to do a roll call vote. Larry?
Aye.
Charlie?
Aye.
Lisa?
Aye.
Kate?
Aye.
Matt's and I, and that's unanimous. So that is everything under scheduled business. Anything else?
I would just like to tell the board there's documents on the HR folder for next Tuesday's meeting. So if you get a chance, review it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Diane's taking an oath, or she's
Nope,
gonna,
but just a reminder for Matt, Kate, Lisa, and Larry to turn your laptops on and put them on to your home network. Thank you.
thanks.
Thank-
Tonight, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
If I have a problem with my internet, can I do it tomorrow morning?
No, you have to do it tonight. I
Thank you.
asked you to get in touch with me if you had trouble.
What time can we
10
turn it on?
p.m. They're going to start at 10 p.m. the updates.
And when does it end? About 2?
It should take no more than a couple of hours.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Anybody want to adjourn?
So moved.
Anybody want to say? I'll second. All right. So our regularly scheduled meeting is Tuesday. So we'll talk to everybody then. Otherwise, have a good week. Have a good weekend. And thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Take care.
thanks everyone